taking risks and learning from mistakes. All right, let's talk about a crisis and taking risks. Because if you're running your own business, you're running into both sooner or later. And when this happens, you can either let them crush you or figure out how to rise above. I've had my fair share of closing calls, and this story is one of them. Oh no, what I have got myself into moments. But it's also about how you can turn a mess into a lesson. So buckle up, here we go. I start when I land this huge project, 308 units, garden style apartment in Northern Virginia. We were talking about a major contract, and the project manager, my old buddy Ken, was backed to the scene. Now, Ken is a good guy, but he has some wild demands this time. They want a countertop that was dark, like midnight dark, and perfect. Oh, they want them cheap, of course, right? Big expectations, small budget, classic. Now, I knew in my option, there are 3 major granite types that fit in the bill for dark countertop. Zimbabwe black, Indian black, and the China Shanxi black. All beautiful stones, but they are expensive, like a level 5 granite expensive. So there was no way I could use these and still hit the budget. That's where I hop on the plane and headed to China. I'm in China meeting with my trusted suppliers and then tell them what I need. Something dark, cheap, and one of them pull out the stone. It's a black with this cool raindrop pattern on the surface. It looks pretty amazing, and the price even better. So I'm thinking this is perfect. So I took a few samples, fly back to the US, and show that to Ken. He loved it. The whole team is on board. The look is exactly what they want. The price fit the budget. Contract was signed. High five all around. We're in business. Fast forward 6 months, we're almost done with the project. Just 10 units left. And then I got a phone call. You know, that sinking feeling when your phone ring and you just know it's not a good news. Yep, that was the call. Ken on the line said, Gene, we've got a problem. Apparently, one of the residents, a chef, no less, had been using lemon juice on his kitchen, and the countertop started etching. Now I'm thinking it's just one guy with one lemon. How bad could it be? But then more complaints started coming. In 5, 10, it's clear we got a real problem in our hand. I rushed over to the site, take a look, and sure enough, the countertop are reacting to anything acidic. Lemons, vinegar, soy sauce. It's like a kitchen disaster in slow motion. So naturally, I think this is just about sealing the granite. Problem would be resolved, right? Easy fix. That was, I thought. We went all around the world to find the best sealer from Germany, Japanese, you name it. But none of them worked. And we were so desperate. We were in panic mode right now. The countertop still reacting, and we have no clear solutions. At this point, I knew we were in a serious crisis. But instead of panicking, stepped back and thought, are we really the only one at fault here? And here's what I get interesting. The developer chose this material for 2 reasons: the look and the price. Ken was there, approved every step on the way from day 1 to now. And if the ship is sinking, we were all going down together. The developer, the general contractor, and us, the subcontractor, we were all in the same boat now. And that's when I realized we needed to work together, not against each other. Now, we did what we had to do. We replaced the 7 or 10 of the worst countertops. We also provided sealers to everyone. But let's be real, those sealers were mostly cosmetic. They were not going to solve the deeper issue. So we got smart. We created a care letter for the residents that basically says, hey, if you smell something acidic like a lemon juice or vinegar, wipe it up immediately. Don't let it sit there. But that wasn't enough. We needed to know exactly what we were dealing with. So I sent a sample of the stone to a geology lab. A week later, the report came back. And guess what? It turned out the stone isn't traditional granite at all. It's actually a type of a basalt, more common used for headstone in the graveyards. Not exactly what we want to hear in the kitchen, right? And there it was in the report, not suitable for kitchen countertop, talking about a punch in the gut. That last sentence couldn't sunk us, but instead throwing in the towel, I could call it geology. Gary, I said, do we really need the last sentence over there? You're a scientist, not a kitchen designer, right? And to my surprise, Gary agreed. He revised his report, and just like that, we had our solution. I sent the updated report to Ken, and the developers, they all looked, well, it is a granite as we promised. Boom, problem solved. So what's the lesson we learned from this? You got to think of what's the worst scenario could have happened to you. If you can prepare that in your mind, you are become calm. And also find as many as allies as you can. In this case, the developer, the GC, had to work with us because we're all here together. And third, always learn from your mistakes. The crisis couldn't end us, but instead, it made us stronger. We improved our quality control, developed better communication, and came out better than ever.